Welcome everyone to this class again. Now today it would be the next part of the chapter as we are discussing the revision work of the unit, that is combustion and flame. Okay, on the last class we have discussed, the heading is that the ignition temperature, combustible, non-combustible substance, inflammable substance, difference between inflammable and combustible substance, etc. we have discussed. Now today we will start from the page number 67, okay, from page number 67, and one information that your exam, the final term 2 exam, is it of multiple choice type, that is online exam, most probably. Okay. Okay, so look at the page number 67. Most probably it is not confirmed, but it is most probably it is of online and multiple choice type. Okay. The history of matchstick is very old. It is from page number 67. More than 5,000 years ago, small pieces of pine wood dipped in sulfur were used as matches in ancient Egypt. The modern safety matches was developed only about 200 years ago. A mixture of antimony trisulfide, potassium chlorate and white phosphorus with some glue and starch was applied on the head of match. That is, what is there? Antimony trisulfide, with that potassium chlorate. These are all inflammable substance or combustible substance, and white phosphorus. With this some glue and starch. These are also help in burning. Okay. Next is that on the head of the matchsticks, when struck against a rough surface, white phosphorus got ignited due to the heat of friction. This started the combustion of the match. However, white phosphorus proved to be dangerous both for the workers involved in the manufacturing of the matches and for the users. These days, the head of safety matches contain only antimony trisulfide, potassium chlorate. The rubbing surface has powdered glass and a little red phosphorus, which is not so dangerous. So nowadays, only antimony trisulfide and potassium chlorate is there, and on the surface it is the red phosphorus plus glass, so that the frictional force might be greater. This is not known to me that when the exam will start, but it is probably of online and multiple choice type. Okay. With this respect, you have to remember this. Suppose one multiple choice question may come from there. Suppose the head of matchsticks contain, now only one option will be there. It might be antimony trisulfide and the rest 3 will be different, or might be potassium chloride or rest 3 will be different. So in that respect, you will remember these all. Okay. When the match is struck against rubbing surface, some red phosphorus get converted into white phosphorus. This immediately reacts with potassium chlorate in the matchstick's head to produce enough heat to ignite antimony trisulfide and start the combustion. Okay. So red phosphorus converted to white phosphorus due to frictional force, and the white phosphorus is the ignition temperature of white phosphorus is very low, just near about 40 degrees centigrade. We find that a combustible substance cannot catch fire or burn as long as its temperature is lower than its ignition temperature. So below its ignition temperature, there is no combustible substances which can get burned. Have you ever seen cooking oil catches fire when a frying pan is kept for long on a burning stove? Kerosene oil and wood do not catch fire on their own at room temperature, but if the kerosene oil is heated a little, it will catch fire. So, what is the necessary condition to heat is that we have to rise the temperature to its ignition temperature. Okay. Now, in a room, in a container, if the kerosene oil is there and if you holds one matchsticks, then it will not get burned or it will not ignite because of the less in energy or less in heat content which helps it to rise it that ignition temperature. So, the role of ignition temperature or to reach at the ignition temperature, it is very important. Does it mean that we need to take special care in storing kerosene oil? The following activity shows that. Now, why we should take special care? Suppose in a hot summer days, the tanker of the kerosene is left outside, so its temperature will increase. So, when it will just take a portion of fire, it will suddenly got blast. So, for this the special care will be taken to reserve it. The following activity show that it is essential for a substance to reach ignition temperature to burn. Now, come to the activity 6.4. Okay. Now, what this activity tells about? This activity tells about that to reach at the ignition temperature or if the heat is passing or heat is expensed by some other reason. For example, here in the paper in one case, that is in the left one, here it is soaked with water, and in the right one it is the dry filter paper. So, the left one will take more time and the right one will take less, because of as the water is there, it will conduct the heat from lower to the upper layer or upper surface. So, it will take more time. Now, look at this. Make 2 paper cup by folding a sheet of paper, pour about 50 ml water in one of the cup, heat both the cups separately with a candle. What do you observe? What happened to the empty paper cup? The empty paper cup will got burning. What happened to the paper cup with water? The paper cup with water will take more time to burn. It is not easy to burn because there is the water inside it. There is a water which is shown by the blue line, just a light blue color. Now, this heat, when it will be supplied to that paper cup, it will supply the heat to the water body or water content, and it will not rise its ignition temperature. If we continue heating the cup, we can even boil water in the paper cup, okay? Because all the heat energy is required to rise the temperature to the ignition temperature will not be there because of conduction of heat from the paper surface to the water. We can think of an experimentation for this phenomenon. The heat supplied to the paper cup is transferred to water by conduction. So, what is the method? It is not known when the exam will start. Probably in the month of March it might be. The heat supplied to the paper cup is transferred to water by conduction. So, what is the method of conduction? That is, heat is supplied from one substance to another which is in contact. Okay. So, in the presence of water, the ignition temperature of paper is not reached, hence it does not burn. Okay. So, if the question is supplied to you that giving two diagram, that the diagram is given in your book. So, it is found that the left one will take more time to ignite than that of the right one. What is the reason behind it? Then you have to answer it that heat is supplied to the left one is transferred to conduction method to the water. So, it takes more time to burn. The substance which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catches fire with a flame are called inflammable substance. So, what is inflammable substance? That having low ignition temperature and also is that it catches fire easily. So, on the last day I have told you one chart that the ignition temperature of petrol, diesel, wood, etc. So, from there you can predict that which one is mostly inflammable and which one is less. Example of inflammable substance are petrol, alcohol, liquefied petroleum gas, etc. Can you list some more inflammable substances? Obviously, we can list more inflammable substances, CNG, here it is mentioned petrol only, diesel, etc. and alcohol is mentioned here. So, in place of alcohol, that is kerosene, all are inflammable substances. Okay. Now, the next is that how do we control fire? Now, here is the context of fire extinguisher. So, already we have studied earlier that the fire extinguisher are of different kinds, okay, and the source of fire is also different. Sometimes it is from wood, sometimes it is from the petroleum, or very dangerous fire is the forest fire, which is originating from the basically from the wood, but takes a large area at the same time. So, according to the base or according to the origin of that fire, there a different fire extinguisher is used. So, fire extinguisher which cut off it makes a layer with the fire and the outer oxygen, that is oxygen from the air, so that it got entrapped and finally it will extinguish. Okay, now look at this. You must have seen or heard of fire breaking out in homes, shop and factories. If you have seen such an accident, write a short description in your notebook. Also share the experience with your classmate. So, here you can write it of your own that have you ever experienced such an accident, that is the fire in a home or shop or factories. If you have such experience, then you can write a paragraph of your own, it will increase your writing capability, etc. Find out the telephone number of the fire service. Okay. Now, come to the next column. Does your city or town have a fire brigade station? Obviously, there will be. When a fire brigade arrives, what they do? They pours water on the fire. Water cools the combustible material so that its temperature is brought below its ignition temperature. So, the role of the fire brigadier is that decrease the temperature of that inflammable substance to lower temperature, so that the temperature is rises the minimum, that is less than its ignition temperature, so that it will stop burning. This prevents the fire from spreading. Water vapor also surround the combustible material, helping in cutting off the supply of air, so the fire is extinguished. So, what is the role of water? Number one is that decrease the temperature of combustible substance or inflammable substance. More appropriate will be inflammable substance. This is one. And number two is that cut off the line or cut off the supply of oxygen, Okay. Yes, kerosene is an inflammable substance. And what is the role of fire extinguisher? Now, fire extinguisher first of all decrease the temperature of the inflammable substance. How? Because we feel that water is cool, and it is not that when they throw the water, it is go by pressure. So, when there is a release of pressure, the water becomes more cooler. Okay. So, these cooler water particles or water molecules helps to decrease the temperature of the inflammable substance. This is the one, and next one is the cut off the supply of oxygen. How? Because as there is the heat energy is there, so water will vaporize, and as it vapors, so it will takes the area, it will cover the area, it will surround the area to get a disconnection between the supply of oxygen and the inflammable substances. But it is proved later on that for all kinds of fire it is not appropriate, the water is not appropriate, and for this the term that is fire extinguisher, which we are readily seen in our different shops and sometimes in the home also, and industries obviously, and also in our school. There is a cylinder which is packed with the fire extinguisher, which liberates basically the carbon dioxide. It will be more appropriate to use carbon dioxide in any kind of fire. Okay. Now, what is the role of carbon dioxide? Number one, it disconnects in between the oxygen and the inflammable substance, because it is heavier than that of the air, number one. So, by this way the ignition temperature or the temperature of the body will automatically rises down, automatically decreases down. So, by these two way the use of fire extinguisher is important. Now, look at this. You have learned that there are three essential requirements for producing fire. You can list these requirements. These are fuel, air and oxygen. Already we have defined this. Next one, fire can be controlled by removing one or more of these requirements. The job of fire extinguisher is to cut off the supply of air or to bring down the temperature of the fuel, or both. Notice that the fuel in most cases cannot be eliminated. If, for instance, a building catches fire, the whole building is the fuel. Okay. Now, we have to read about the paragraph that is about fire extinguisher. The most common fire extinguisher is water. Okay. But water works only when things like wood and paper are on fire. So, what are the two substances for which water is appropriate as a fire extinguisher? Number one, paper, and number two is wood. So, you should remember these two words. Next one, but water works only when things like wood and paper are on fire. On electrical equipment is on fire, water may conduct electricity and harm those trying to douse the fire. Okay, so here is one question was in the exercise that why should we should not use water when the electrical equipment is on fire? Because water is a good conductor of electricity, so it can conduct electricity. Okay. Next one. Next line is about water is also not suitable for fires involving oil and petrol. Can you tell me? Can you tell me that why water is not appropriate for the fire of petrol and diesel? Already in the previously we have discussed it. I think everyone can answer it because it is very simple also. Already Roshni, Sneha, Chandra. The oil floats on water, okay, because petrol and diesel will float on the top of water. Yes. water is denser than oil and settle at the bottom and oil continue to burn on top. Yes, all are correct answer. So, once again the repetition of that. So, number 1 is these are lighter, the petroleum, number 1 petroleum is lighter than water. Okay, so as it is lighter, so it will rises up. So when the area is covered with petroleum and if we pour here water, so as it is lighter, so it will coming out in the form of gases and it will exist above the layer of water. So it will easily burn. Next one, for fire involving electrical equipment and inflammable materials like petrol, carbon dioxide is the best extinguisher. Okay. CO2 being heavier than oxygen cover the fire like a blanket. Already in the previous page, in page number 66, a wrapping by the blanket when a man's cloth is got fire. So this is also the same, that covered by carbon dioxide. Since the contact between the fuel and oxygen is cut off, the fire is controlled. The added advantage of carbon dioxide is that in most cases it does not harm the electrical equipment. Okay. How do we got the supply of carbon dioxide? It can be stored at high pressure as a liquid in a cylinder. In what form is the LPG stored in cylinder? So like that, under pressure. When release it from the cylinder, CO2 expands enormously in volume and cools down. So here also one reason to use carbon dioxide is that it expands enormously. Why? Because in the cylinder, as it is in huge pressure, it is in liquid form, but it seems to be liquid, but when it coming out, as the pressure releases, the temperature will be down, and next one it expand enormously. Okay. So it will covers a large area. So why the carbon dioxide or fire extinguisher using carbon dioxide is much fruitful than that of the water? This is also one reason, that it is heavier, and number 2 is it occupies a large area. It occupies a large area. Okay, so this is the 2 reason. Next one, that is why the excellent fire extinguisher. Another way to get carbon dioxide is to release a lot of dry powder of chemicals like sodium bicarbonate or potassium bicarbonate. Okay. Now when sodium or potassium bicarbonate come in contact with acid, then it will produce huge amount of carbon dioxide which will come through the nozzle when it breaks down. The breaking of the nozzle is that the contact of acid and the dry mixture will be in the reaction chamber or in between the cylinder. So when they react, it will produce a large amount of carbon dioxide and it will come out. Near the fire, these chemicals give off CO2. Okay. So what is the chemistry behind the fire extinguisher? Sometimes it may packed with the gaseous carbon dioxide, sometimes a dry powder, and in another chamber there is a acid and there is a nozzle or tube which should be break down to mix the both of these, and it will produce carbon dioxide. There are 3 kinds of fire extinguisher, A, B and C, and basically what we got in the market, it contains all of these, but the different fire extinguisher is used to different temperatures. When the temperature, that is huge amount of area or a large area when got fire, then here the supply of carbon dioxide will be so fast that it can covers the area. Okay. So that's all for today's class. Next day we will start from section 6.3, types of combustion. Anyone having any confusion up to that? Okay. Okay, so next day if you having any queries, then after reading that portion you will tell me at first, and then we will continue with the next section. Okay, thank you everyone and bye.